GNT show is intended for mature audiences. Parental discretion is advised. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Star Trek, The Final Frontier. These are the voyages of the GNT show, our continuing mission to explore Star Trek storytelling, to seek out new worlds and interesting characters, to boldly go where no show has gone before.
Naomi Wildman. I was setting it up. Oh. Welcome to the GNT show, where obviously we have no script.
Yeah, let's just get this puppy started.
As always, the beautiful, the lovely, the high-booted, short-skirted, big-breasted Terry Lynn.
That would be me. Admiral Shaw.
She's badass.
It's Ceridium.
Good morning. It's Sunday on the GNT show.
You know the worst part of this morning? It's not the getting up early. It's the fact they're making me wear clothes to do the show.
It's time for Coffee Clutch.
Strap on your helmets, boys and girls. It's gonna get rough.
Oh, it's going to be one of those mornings.
Let me put on my seatbelt, my helmet with the little blinky light on top.
For safety.
When we decided we were going to do the GNT show,
Man.
one of the things we said was no standards. GNT show does not go on the air because we're ready. It goes on the air because it's 9 o'clock on Sunday morning.
Mike could have snapped by then and killed us both. Pain sticks for Mike, evidently.
We have our production meetings on the air.
Well, it's the best way to get you to adhere to things.
Yeah, you've now set an expectation. That's the thing about the GNT show is we set no expectations.
I need more coffee.
Wow,
I'm trying to figure out whether or not I want to do general news or Star Trek news, and I figured
this is
out.
Terry
Fuck
having
it.
a series of small
It's news.
strokes, actually.
Boy, it doesn't take long for this show to deteriorate,
Go
does it?
straight the fuck downhill.
I don't always podcast, but when I do, I GNT.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the GNT Show, episode 183. I'm Terry Lynn.
Jolan True, bitches. I'm back. The boss is back. How are you? Oh, good morning. There she is to my left, your right, looking resplendent today in her Agent Carter wear. It's Terry.
You like my hat?
I do. Big floppy hat.
Mm-hmm.
And there he is to my right, your left, looking quite dapper in his Don Draper tuxedo. It's Ceridium.
Kapla! Oh, my tiny's adjusting.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Those bow ties on Klingons, man. You always have to fart with them.
Yeah.
But I like the fact he's wearing the plaid Klingon bow tie.
Can't help it if I'm colorblind.
There you go. Are you really colorblind?
No, I'm not.
Oh.
Uh-oh, Jespa says it's 184.
I thought so, but I wasn't going to correct you because you're usually right on top of that.
How did I skip it?
What number did you say?
183.
That was last week, yeah.
It was last week, wasn't it?
Which
Hold
you had
on.
gotten correct, by the way.
Well, I have to stop recording. I have to start this over again because I must have screwed it up.
I can
Why?
fix it in post.
Yeah.
Or not.
No, well, I have to. No, I named my file wrong.
Oh, I see. Okay. I'm glad somebody's awake this morning.
Yeah, no kidding, Jespa.
Apparently
Thank
it's
you.
Jespa.
322 fifth at 184. All right.
I think last night I was around an 8, Matt, and right now I think I'm somewhere around a 5 or 6.
Yeah, you can take in a leave, the over-the-counter stuff. One pill, 24 hours, just telling you.
And then I'll be loopy for the rest of the day.
And a leave loops you out, really?
I just don't like taking pills.
I know you don't. But
But I do
there's
like...
something to be said for going with a day without pain.
But I do
I
like
don't know
the
what
last
that's
one,
like.
Death imminent.
I don't know what that's like, a day without pain.
Nor do I. We'll just fix it in post. Fix it now!
That was me. I'm Batman. Fix it out. All right. We gonna start over again, or you just want to pick up?
No, just let's run with it. Because
Okay, cool.
people will just, laugh at us.
Because, that's the way we are. Well, how was your week, Michael?
Well, the big news
Pain
is...
aside.
Well, yes, pain aside. The big news this week, I finished the first draft of the outline for Fires of the Phoenix.
Fantastic. Congratulations. You said it was 47 pages?
Yes, the magic Star Trek number.
I was going to say, how cute is that?
So, yeah, it got a lot easier as I went along, but at the same time, the story also became, I have to say, I loved it. It was hard, but it was like awesome kind of hard. I don't know how, it was an interesting experience, and so I was very pleased with the way it turned out, and I have to say, Vulcans made me cry.
Yeah, they can do that. They can do that. That's like the reason why Nick likes T'Pren so much, right?
I don't just like T'Pren. I love T'Pren.
I know.
Oh, T'Pren.
Oh, T'Pren. What about you, Nick? What'd you do this week?
I worked. and then I worked, and then I passed out because it's long times when shooty times are so close to each other, and then you don't get any time off, and it's weekends, and it's all that stuff. And then it snowed yesterday. It's Friday.
Yeah.
70 degrees during the week, and then it snowed Friday.
Yeah. Well, it's the first day of spring. Yesterday was.
I thought Friday was
21st, isn't it? Or was it the 20th this year?
because everyone here kept saying that it was snowing on the first day of spring.
I love the picture you just posted.
I know, right? Is that not the great? I know it's now, but is that not the most Sam the Eagle face you've ever seen?
True.
Yes.
True. That's very funny.
Today's a good day for you to die.
Yeah. It's like, fuck. Doing it to me again.
Yep.
And this is what you get, people, for not being here live. You don't get to know what we're talking about. So really, go fuck yourselves.
And this is
I don't mean that. I actually like most of our fans. Okay, a few of our fans. All right, there's like 2 fans I really like. But other than that...
Oh, boy. Great way to start off the show. Alienate our entire audience.
No, because everyone can say, I'm one of the ones he likes. It's the rest of... It's them he doesn't like.
That's exactly what they're saying, Nick.
Oh, I'm sure, because my opinion carries that much weight. So, hello,
yeah?
Shield?
How was Terry's week first?
Oh, I worked. Oh, yay. It was, I'm getting ready because, I won't be here for the next 2 Sundays. I'm traveling to Los Angeles, to Anaheim.
Right on.
Attending a conference.
Is that Val Kilmer?
No, oh no. Have you seen him, Lee?
Yes, he's very puffy now.
I feel bad.
I know. Remember when Val Kilmer was beautiful?
Well, he's so sick.
Whoa, really?
Oh, yeah.
What's he got? Impetigo?
Actually, probably throat cancer.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Are you serious?
Yeah, dead serious. He's a Christian Scientist, so he's not going under what we would call traditional therapy.
Right. Is that why he's so puffy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now I feel bad for all the jokes I've made about him. God damn it, because I like Val Kilmer. I've never really heard anything bad about him.
Really nice guy. And he's, he lives on the other side of the mountain from me. He lives in the Pecos. He has a ranch in the Pecos.
Yeah, I knew that he lived out there.
Beautiful. It's
in my
beautiful.
future home area.
Wow. I just realized, based on Terry's next 2-week comment, not next week, but the week after, I'll be in the land of enchantment.
I know.
By the way, Matthew Anderson, I don't know where you got that picture, but that chick's kind of hot.
So, Mikey, the house is almost ready for you.
Okay.
House is almost ready for you. Just have to
Shield.
All right, now we can talk about Shield. So, Shield. Oh my God.
I just want to hug Sky. I mean, I've always just wanted to hug Sky, but now I really just want to hug Sky.
You know what's funny is, how we've all talked about how we have to improve ourselves on, and my response to Sun's Facebook page is one of them. We have to kind of improve our way of keeping positive on comments and stuff, that it's always really, really easy to get drawn to the negative. I have to say,
I don't know what you're talking about.
I had to turn off, or, I had to walk away from a Shield post on Facebook about last week's episode, and a whole bunch of...
And what did it say?
It's going to get you cranky.
Hi, have you met me?
Exactly.
I live for the crank. Wait a minute. That could go in so many directions.
So you don't want to go there. Was a comments from people talking about how, God, I'm so sick and tired of her. I can't control my powers. Let's just get over the whiny Sky. I'm not kidding. There's people.
Yes, because if you suddenly get some kind of superpower, you're going to know. I got annoyed. Okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Remember The Greatest American Hero?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, do you know what annoyed me about that show? Well, there's many things, but do you know that what annoyed me the most about that show?
No.
Not that he had trouble flying. That I totally got. It was like a season later, he still hadn't mastered it. Okay, come on. You've had a year.
Yeah.
Stop with the bumbling around. She's had it like 3 days.
Thank you. And that's what bothers me. It's like all of a sudden she gets it. She's supposed to learn how to control it. And it just goes now.
She's also struggling with the fact to find out that she's an inhuman.
Right.
And that Eddie came and paid her a visit.
And the other comments that came out on this, I got really angry. So I figured, you know what? I have to walk away, because if I post something, I'm just going to get involved in a protracted fight with people who I don't care about, who apparently will never understand people. So
Well,
I turned
and that's
around
why
and walked away.
I got so snippy with Sun. And I think the beautiful thing about Sunseal is Sunseal and I can go back and forth and then just give each other a big hug.
I hope she hugs me. Maybe.
Well, she wouldn't be here if she didn't.
She might be here for you. So I'm just
well,
Well,
that's true.
a hug just
I
makes
have that
it
effect on
easier to
lesbians.
stab you in the back. No, I'm just kidding.
Mr. Cynic over here.
Wow. Who's the Romulan now?
I've learned from
Actually,
the
he's
best.
a Klingon who understands Romulans, I think.
No, but the whole Batgirl cover thing.
Yeah, that was another one this week that came out and I'm going to say this up front. I thoroughly, totally, completely understand both sides of this argument. I really do. They're both right.
Okay, Sunseal is paraphrasing how I kind of like ended our argument with a laugh because she said, I said, I'm just tired of people bitching. And then she said, well, she's tired of people bitching about people bitching. So then I said, I'm tired. Let's bitch about people bitching about people bitching about people bitching.
You know what? That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Good for you guys. I wish I had gotten smart enough to say something like that.
Well, no, we were going back and forth because she doesn't know why they can't let the Joker paralyzing Barbara Gordon go because everything else in the comics is let go. Because Barbara was like a fifth tier character up until the Killing Joke. It became her being paralyzed is the parents being killed in the alley moment.
Thank you. That's exactly what I'm saying is people are going, why can't she just get over it? I said, because Batman can't get over the killing of his parents.
Yeah.
Seriously. It's the core crisis that creates his character. It's why Batman exists.
And she was, like I said, she was a fifth tier character. Once she became Oracle, everyone in the DC universe, to include Superman, and we know how I feel about Superman.
Yeah.
He's a dick, but came to her for help at one time or another.
Right.
That storyline launched her. And yes, people can go, oh, well, they had to paralyze the woman. Well, they had to kill the guy's parents in order to, they had to blow up a guy's parents' planet. So, there's a whole bunch of stuff you can get into. But
there's always...
what got me was the people talking about the sexual suggestive nature of the gun pointing down. I'm sorry. I just saw a guy with his hand draped over her shoulder, and that's where the gun would be pointed.
Well, it went to the cavalierness of his attitude about life.
Well,
there's
nothing... And as you and I discussed, that's the Joker.
Right. And that is the Joker. However, there can't be any argument as to the type of assault. Now, people are saying, well, she wasn't... How do we know she was raped?
Because the Joker
Does
said
penetration
she wasn't
actually
raped.
have to exist for it to be a sexual assault?
But,
no.
But he said...
And this is my thing, is she was sexually assaulted. Now, what bothered me about it isn't... How do I say this right? Nick put it in a chat room and said, Terry, how do you feel about this? And what did I say? Because I had never seen it before. I didn't know there was a controversy.
You said it was beautiful, beautiful and disturbing.
I said it was horrifying, terrifying, and a trigger.
Trigger, yeah.
It was a trigger. And the reason why is because women who have been through that will understand the look in her face as any PSD survivor would, right? In that way.
Mm-hmm.
And
you're talking about the cover where
the Joker
version of the cover where she's crying, right?
Yes,
because they
the
have
version where she's crying, not the one that they're going to.
I didn't like that one,
and it was horrific.
I saw the other. I liked the other one where she's pissed.
Yeah. Now that one I loved because that's the way you expect a superhero to react in a situation like that. Batman does not react with fear and tears. He reacts to the thing with anger.
They have had that, though.
Huh?
There have been plenty of covers with Batman reacting that way.
With
simple,
Joker hanging a gun over his face, like somehow.
No, but I'm like the one
That's
where he's carrying Robin's
Batman
dead body.
Who had suffered something a little bit different, but suffered something at the same hands. If he was put into that situation, would not look like that. He'd be pissed at himself and at the Joker. And this is the way it should be for her too. So that's why I hated the first version of it because it was a very powerful image, and what bothered me about it was that somehow she was a victim all over again, and that she was helpless. And that's what bothered me is like, since when is she a fucking helpless bitch again? I'm sorry, what the hell? And that's what bothered me about it. Should it have been pulled? I don't think so.
And I think what's lost in that is is, first of all, it was a variant cover for Joker month. So people saying, well, why is it on there? Because every DC title is going to have a Joker variant that has nothing to do with the story in that issue. It's just a variant. And it's only like one out of they print one variant for every 100 issues. So let's say the comic store I go to only orders 50 copies of Batgirl because they know that they're going to sell out 50 copies, but if they ordered 100, they're going to be left with maybe 40. You know what I mean?
Right.
Okay, so they wouldn't have it. I would have to ask them, hey, can you order this for me special? Which a good comic book store will, and we'll get into that because, Terry, did you see my posting earlier in the week about how great Beyond Comics is?
Yep.
But the other thing is, we don't have to. People are arguing, well, people are going to walk in and it's going to be the only thing they're going to see if that's the only cover they have left. Well, no. First of all, they have to order at least 100. Second of all, why not just do what they've done in the past with issues like this? Put it in a special wrapping. Make it even more hard to get and worth more later because that's what these variant covers are about anyway, is making money. Put it in a special cover. And there's plenty of comics that could be a trigger for me and my PTSD as a veteran. I don't bitch about it until they pull it. You know what I say? Oh, okay.
But you're not the way. Here's the thing: is that the way I reacted the first time I saw this, I have to say it was it was
if she
a
didn't
bad
have the tear
trigger.
in her eye, would it bother you as much?
What?
If she did not have the tear in her eye,
possibly
would it bother you as much?
I don't know.
Because she would still have that look.
I can
is
understand
it the tear that
you're
puts it over
supposed
the
to
edge?
fear the Joker. I get that. But considering her history and considering what he did to her in order, and not even to her because he meant to hurt her, but because he didn't care.
Because he meant to hurt her father.
It was always, which goes even more into women as throwaway, right? As for the Joker, we've discussed that the women are throwaways for him.
Everyone is a throwaway for him. And for those that don't know what we're talking about,
no, I don't think so because he has this personal thing for Batman, right?
Yeah. Well, and that's what I was going to say. For those that don't know what we're talking about, the backstory on this, in the now classic Killing Joke graphic novel, Joker is trying to prove a point, basically, that it's one bad day that separates somebody from being good and normal and having morals from one bad day. And in order, the person he goes after is Jim Gordon, which is a really interesting thing, because think about it, that is another way to get at Batman, is to go after Jim Gordon because of the past they share. And he shoots Barbara and poses her and sends photos to Jim Gordon, but specifically says, and I thought it was interesting that if you look at the Killing Joke, that he didn't sexually abuse her. Now, I know that what you were saying about, yes, she was, but I think what they were getting across in that was there was no
penetration. You can say
or anything other than just posing the body. There was no.
Yeah, but the problem is that that's a definition that most women would never ever say, excuse me. I mean, you're going to get the stink eye, and you're going to get the stink eye.
Yeah, I know.
Because it is bullshit, it goes straight to Joker's character too.
But he sends these photos to Jim Gordon to drive him nuts, to give it one bad day. And that's the backstory on this. So that's why when people say, why can't Barbara just let it go?
Yeah, it makes me want to punch kittens.
That's telling a rape victim to let it go.
Thank you. Exactly. It's telling a rape victim to let it go. It's telling anybody who is a victim of violent crime to let it go. And you don't have to. You have to be able to move forward with your life as now with that as part of it.
And Sensei's argument to me was, in comics they reboot everything all the time, which is true. But they've never rebooted Bruce Wayne's parents being killed. They've never rebooted Krypton exploding. They've never rebooted the core thing the core thing for Barbara Gordon was being paralyzed by the Joker, which made her Oracle. Mm-hmm. She was Batgirl before that, but she was really a super background character.
Right. I'd agree with that.
This thrust
Thank you very much, Story.
Yeah, there they are, side by side.
Now, I have to say, if I had seen the cover on the right first, I would be in heaven, because I fucking love that. I just love it. I think it's great because it goes to her transition from Batgirl. This is the anger that creates the Batgirl character.
Well, and
Batgirl wasn't created out of victimization and fear.
The other thing about this is people were saying, the authors of the new book say it's not fitting the tone. Well, here's my problem with the tone of since Gail Simone left. Of course,
the teeny bopper tone.
Mm-hmm. As we know, Gail Simone is, to me, the best comic writer there is right now.
Right.
She's just wonderful.
Although I like pseudoconic. Okay.
No, that's fine. It's just,
but yes,
Gail really speaks to me. Her work speaks to me on a very deep level, a very personal level, I should say. Plus, I also think when it came to Batgirl, she's the reason Batgirl had become my favorite title. Just the inner monologues that Barbara Gordon had, I just thought it was so wonderful. Mm-hmm. But then they decided to go in a new direction, and they are aiming it for what they say, we want 12, 14-year-old girls to read. If you read Batgirl, she comes across now like a ditzy college freshman, not like this woman who's been through everything she's been through, which to me is way more insulting than that cover, the way she's portrayed now.
I think they're both that way. I mean, I think of the new Batgirl stuff as almost like a reboot, almost, where, it's like, okay, we're going to dump the old readers and we're going to put this on and try to bring in the younger readers because we're going to need them when they're 40.
But then it gets to the...
But that first variation of the cover, that's supposed to attract the younger readers.
No, this wasn't. You have to remember, this is.
I know this was a unique variant.
It wasn't even a Batgirl comic. It was a Joker comic, right?
Oh
no, this cover?
Well, I mean, it's
no, it was for Batgirl 41.
It wasn't part of the core Batgirl series.
Yeah, no, this was for Batgirl number 41.
Oh, so they're going back to the old.
No, that's why it was a variant cover. In June, every DC title will have a Joker variant.
Okay, all right.
It's because it's celebrating 75 years of the Joker being in Batman.
Got it.
So that's why they may have nothing to do with the story. It's just a celebration of the Joker, which sounds like something that we.
Yeah.
Fuck you too, Elsa. That's awesome. I love Elsa giving the double middle finger.
I do too. It's great.
Sun says, I think it's funny we talk about comics and games being separate from reality as grounds for these things don't create violence. Yeah, we have discussions about this. It's the equivalent of telling a rape victim to get over it. Because the people that were the loudest were saying... Oh God.
I understand where she's coming from on the discussion. Where she's coming from on that, and that is, there is a very big difference. I don't play as a victim of violent crime. I don't play certain violent movies, and I don't play violent games because of the way that they make me feel, or they could put me into a position of feeling. So I'm sensitive to violence now. I don't play them. Do I think they cause violence? No. It has everything to do with your perspective of your life. And that is, I know plenty of people who've gone through what I've gone through and can play, any violent game and they don't have a problem with it. As a matter of fact, some of them actually use it almost as a therapy. Uh-huh. I'm just not one of those people. I can't do it because I'm hyper violent or hyper
yes, you are.
To violence. I am hyper violent, right? I am hypersensitive to violence. And not the least of which is because I've seen my share of the real stuff. Right. I know what the real stuff look like, and I can tell you right now, they don't look like video games. So, and comic books or Wile E. Coyote cartoons, which I happen to still love. I'm sorry, but when, a piano or an anvil falls on somebody's heads, it's fucking funny. But be that as it may, I mean, that's the difference is I don't think that a cartoon can draw out somebody's propensity for violence. That propensity for violence always sits there. It's up to us as a society to try to remind people they don't have to use it. And we have to stop the cycle before it begins. And that's really what it becomes. It doesn't matter if it's bullying or torture. It's the cycle of abuse. It's the cycle of torture. It's the cycle of abuse. Those who abuse were once abused. It is always that way. Even though they may deny it, there's something else in their life that gave rise to that knowledge and hatred and fear. Mostly fear.
Here's kind of like what bothered me about it. I saw somebody who I've known for a while saying, oh, they should never put this cover out. It should be pulled, blah, 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 blah. But that same person has argued with me that images like Mapplethorpe's Piss Christ is art and should never be pulled. It should be allowed to be displayed. Well,
you know what? You're right. That is a double standard. I'm sorry. That's why I don't believe that the cover should have been pulled.
right.
It is up to it's up to us to make it a part of the conversation, which is what I'm trying to do today, and that
Right.
is, move it forward. If it gives us the opportunity to discuss how violent crime happens, about what violent crime is, about what the quote unquote definitions of sexual assault or abuse are, then yay, then it's moving forward, and we can make a positive out of what is a negative image, and that is art. As far as I'm concerned, that is art, and it's freedom of speech, and it should be, people can choose to buy it or not.
Exactly.
I wouldn't. I would buy the one with her all pissed off.
Oh, I'd get the poster of both. Now, I'll say this. Any conspiracy theorists out there who think this was just a way to get Batgirl title, some publicity, no, not this one. This one, they wanted this one out there, and it was a vocal group, mostly on Twitter.
Yeah.
Once again, Twitter ruling the world, who objected to it and started the push. This, it kind of had unintended consequences, though, for the title, and it's been covered mainstream. And I can't really tell you the last time Batgirl's ever been in the mainstream conscious.
I agree. And again, if it can be used to a positive effect of creating a good, solid, true to heart conversation about what Barbara's character went through, then great. Then it not only is serving a purpose, it's serving a really great purpose. So that's why I'm, when I told it to Nick, sorry, I'm stammering. Okay. When Nick and I spoke about it, and I told him, I said, look, I hate it. I loathe it. It makes me ill. I can't handle it. Should it be pulled? No, it should never have been pulled. And the reason why is because it is art. It is that expression. It was that. And, did the artist have second thoughts?
And by the way, his last name, Albuquerque. It is.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah. And it was up to him. He was the one who requested that it be pulled, and he didn't have to. He could have fought. And I would have understood his decision either way. I really would have. Because again, it's one of those things where I can see both sides of this argument. Absolutely. Because they're both right.
Now, real quickly, before we move onto a lighter vein.
Yes, please.
The next time that somebody from Hollywood tries to tell you what to think about this political thought or vaccines or lecture us about foreign policy, let me just point something out. I saw this last night. Hollywood's the same town that is giving us Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. So really think about the decision-making processes that go on out there.
Yeah.
The next time they're lecturing us.
Okay, and who actually gets to approve and rubber stamp these films? Do you think it's the actors? No.
I'm not just talking about the actors.
I don't know very many Hollywood producers. Yeah, I don't know very many Hollywood producers or suits that are out there going, they speak in other ways. They have PACs, honey. They have PACs. Just the way the country has always worked, right?
If they're involved in Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 in any way, okay. Remember, I saw that ad last night, and my first thought was, do we really need this? Was there a clamoring? Was there a petition I didn't know about?
Well, you know what it was, is that,
6 years after the first movie? It's not even like it was the year after.
Well, here's the thing. Did it make a profit?
Oh, I could IMDb it and find out.
Yeah, see, if it made a profit, then they would push for the potential that a second, cheaper film could even make a better profit. It has nothing to do with the quality of the film.
I just have to wonder if Kevin James needed work that bad.
How many Jackass movies did they make after all?
Yeah, but Jackass makes big money. Jackass is not expensive to make at all.
They wouldn't have approved it if the first one hadn't have been a success.
Not only that, Jackass is incredibly
vulgar, vile.
Okay, it's also incredibly inexpensive for them to make.
Yeah,
true.
Well, except for the insurance now, since what's his face died. All right. Shall we get to a little bit of Star Trek news?
No, all right.
All right.
Star Trek news.
Happy birthday, Bill.
And happy birthday, Mr. Shatner. He's 84 today.
Looks good. Looks good for 84.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does, doesn't he? I think he looks better now than he did probably 20 years ago.
Do you know that there's people out there claiming that his Twitter, that it's not him, it's somebody tweeting for him? If you read his Twitter feed with any regularity, and it comes
It's
up
him.
a lot, because he live streams TV shows more than anyone.
Right.
It's him.
It's him.
And I think it's cool as shit that he, like, live streams TV shows.
I do too. And, well,
let's face it,
he is, you know what I like about it is that it goes to show that it doesn't matter how old you are, that you can really comprehend the power of social media.
And he's pretty hip.
He's very hip, and he's very savvy, and he's very wise in understanding how he can connect with the younger generations by connecting with their stars. That, you know, like he live tweeted Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because of Eddie.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And-
he and Nathan Fillion go back and forth all the time.
And the guys from Supernatural, right?
Yeah.
He's in a wonderful fake brouhaha with, and has been for years. They insult each other all the time, and it's awesome.
He's a big Once Upon a Time fan.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. So he always tweets, but he uses it to kind of, and he always says it. How do I say it? He's just a really social media savvy kind of a guy, and he understands the power of Twitter specifically.
Yeah,
he really does, and he's built quite a following. People love to read his tweets. He's very funny.
I thought his best response to the whole funeral thing was, you know, if you come at me, say. I mean, that was like the most Kirk thing he's ever done in reality. Come at me.
Yeah. And, you know, what can you do with that? That's one thing, that whole stupid thing is, if that's what people remember from Leonard Nimoy's death, then they are so fucked up.
Did you see Zachary Quinto on Conan O'Brien talking about Leonard Nimoy?
What did he say?
Oh, it was just he you know, about celebrating the art, the photography, the acting, the directing, celebrating the life of Leonard Nimoy, and I'm sure Matthew Anderson, by the time I get done stammering through this, will have the clip up. But no, it was very heartfelt and very, very nice. You know, talking about how he felt so honored that he got to become friends with Leonard Nimoy.
That's neat. That's really neat. Mikey, you have a link. You have a couple of links that we need to talk about today.
Yep. Which one do you want me to start with? Start with
number
Star Trek?
Number
Connected one?
three.
I don't have the same numbering system you do, Nick. I'll start with the
That was
Star
the
Trek
joke,
Connection.
Mike. It's just, oh boy.
So cute.
George Takei, he's
that's right,
doing a Indiegogo fundraiser for, I guess,
the Japanese American National Museum Legacy Project.
Yeah, so I think he's trying to, is he trying to establish this museum, or is this trying to go to create the show that's supposed to help sponsor the, I'm not sure exactly.
Let's see here.
But it seemed like definitely a worthy project, and George is, behind it, so it's definitely worth looking into.
This is towards getting Allegiance onto Broadway, which will be to the benefit of the Japanese American National Museum.
Okay, so the museum already exists
in Los Angeles at Little Tokyo.
Okay, that's the part I was unclear about.
Right here it says, by giving today, your dollar is helping Allegiance get to Broadway this fall and helping create a new endowment for the museum. So it's a creation for an endowment at the Japanese American National Museum.
Little Tokyo, which was destroyed by the son of Godzilla. Thank you. I'll be here all week.
So
like
bad.
Getsuki. Remember Getsuki?
So bad. I love Little Tokyo in LA, by the way. If you haven't been, everybody, you should go. It's really fun. And it's
really?
not
Add
what
that to the list too?
What? Yeah.
Add that to the list too?
Add that to the list too. Yes, because it's lovely. It's a fun, but what I like about it is that it really is just a neighborhood, right? It's not like it's an attraction, like, oh, we're going to Little Tokyo and we're going to do this and this and this. It's not like Disneyland, right?
It's like Little Italy.
It is a neighborhood of Japanese Americans in LA, and it's awesome.
It's like Little Italy in New York.
Yes, exactly. It's not
Do
like
you know that
it's not
in
an
DC,
attraction, it's an area. Huh?
In DC, there's an area, and I'm not joking, Little Ethiopia.
Yes,
and the
I do know
restaurants
that.
there are unbelievable.
That's what I understand. Good friends of ours have a brother-in-law who's Ethiopian and is an Ethiopian musician.
Oh wow!
Laurie Farrison? No, the Farrises.
Yeah, the Ferris Anomaly.
Yeah, the Ferris Anomaly. The Ferris Anomaly. They have.
Jim, how are you?
Very cool. All right, so So how long? They have 59 days left in this. Is it an Indiegogo? It's a Kickstarter.
It's an Indiegogo.
Okay, that's good. That means that Indiegogo. So go ahead, give them some support. Wonderful cause to create an endowment through the I was saying Native American. My brain has been through work.
Wow.
I work for a Native American company, and now my brain is all Japanese American.
Well, yeah. I mean, after all, history forgotten is history repeated. So there are some things. There are some things that must not be forgotten, and I think this is one of them.
Yeah. Matthew Anderson posted a picture in the chat room of the little Tokyo Gate. That's pretty much it. Just one of the entranceways to one of the little neighborhoods where they have little art studios, and it's just a beautiful little. I love it. Very, very cool. And the restaurant, again, the restaurants there are fabulous. We used to be able to walk there from where I worked in downtown. Go there and get a little Japanese food for lunch. Oh,
I went with a friend this week to a place called Katana, a local Japanese place. Oh my God, so good.
Yum.
And a restaurant named after one of the birds of prey. So yay.
Yeah, that's what it was named after, and not the other way around.
Just saying.
There's a very cute story out of Gloucestershire. I hope I pronounced it right. Gloucestershire? Gloucestershire. No. If I was not trying to pronounce it the British way, it would be Gloucestershire. Where
in Massachusetts they pronounce it Gloucester.
Gloucester? It might be Gloucester.
But jump in here and tell us how they pronounce it in Massachusetts, because Massachusetts has some fucked up pronunciations. Gloucester. That's how they pronounce it.
Gloucester? Is it? But
Gloucester.
It's not Gloucester. It's Gloucestershire. It'd be
No,
Gloucestershire. Because there's an
SHIR
SHIR at the end of it. It'd be Gloucestershire.
Gloucester. Rooting on the socks in Gloucester.
They wouldn't say Worcester for Worcestershire.
Worcester. It's Worcester.
It's Worcestershire.
No, it's Worcester.
They say Worcester?
It's Worcester.
For Worcester. But Worcestershire, right? SHIR. They would have said Worcestershire.
Worcester.
Well,
why
either
do you
way,
think we hate Massachusetts? Yeah, see? Shout out to Worcester.
For Worcester. How? But all right, Grim.
Because they're Massachusetts. They're fucked up.
It's Gloucestershire. Gloucestershire.
Gloucester.
Aye. Somebody from the UK, speak up, please. Is it Gloucestershire? Okay, Gloucester is Gloucester. Put the SHIR on the end of it. Gloucestershire. All right.
My head hurts from the accents.
Well, the good news is the Simon Pegg had a new studio theater named after him at the university there, because he is an alum, and they created the Pegg Studio Theater. And while it was being dedicated, he was there. And there's a lovely little article about the dedication at the University Theater in his honor. So being the fact that he is from Brockworth. Well, he's not, whatever. Well, congratulations to Mr. Pegg on the honor of having a theater named after you. That's actually a pretty big deal.
That is cool.
Like, they finally named the theater in Long Beach State after the Carpenters.
Look at what Grimmy posted.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Grimmy getting
Well,
blue.
that's Deadpool.
Look at Grimmy getting blue. Really, you could dress up like Deadpool and get away with pretty much anything, can't you?
Almost. Now, I think that's part of the PSA for how not to treat women in other words, don't be Deadpool. What a great tagline that would be.
Don't be Deadpool. Hashtag don't be Deadpool.
Don't be Deadpool. Yeah, get Midnight in here. So there's that. Did everybody see the Nerd Court this week?
I love Commander Holly. Crabcat. I love Crabcat. Commander Holly is awesome. And fucking Frakes. What a fucking hilarious guy.
Wasn't he hilarious? Wasn't he
The
so
judge
funny?
was the best, though.
Oh my God, wasn't he? I love him. I was like, that is just so funny. What a great, you can subscribe to Nerd Court on YouTube. Funny as all get out. But oh my God, the judge was hilarious. He was really funny.
Oh my God, what a brilliant cosplay mashup.
Oh, is it Winter Soldier?
No, Sub-Zero
As
Elsa.
in Elsa Winter Soldier?
No, Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat,
Elsa.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I went with Winter Soldier. It was funny. See? I could have said something else, but no. What else came out this week? Mostly from, this is kind of interesting, which I thought was pretty funny. A new mobile game from, it has been in its Star Trek The Next Generation Family Guy.
Oh, yeah.
Family Guy, The Quest for Stuff. We'll be getting a limited Star Star Trek themed in-game event beginning today and lasting through April 30th. It started on the 19th of March, so just a couple of days ago. It lasts through April 30th and features a Star Trek The Next Generation theme with voices from the original. So it includes Jonathan Frakes, Michael Dorn, and Patrick Stewart, and
cool.
Brent Spiner doing some voices for it. So you can download it from your favorite app provider. What was that?
What's going on, Anthony? Speaking of Michael Dorn.
Yes.
Did you see what I posted this week? And I also posted it, and Dayton reposted it, and we had some conversation about it, about the Star Trek crossover that really happened. I even put it on the GNT page.
Oh, the Webster?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wasn't that kind of terrifying?
How?
It was the 80s.
It was the 80s.
You just wide-eyed and nod your head and keep running. This is the same decade that gave us the Star Wars Christmas special, was it not?
That was the 70s.
Oh, well, still, it's on pretty close.
Yeah, that was like 78. It was like the year after Star Wars. But the Webster crossover into Star Trek The Next Generation, which brings up the very real point.
Yes.
And if you're listening, stop listening right now for a second.
Who?
3, 2, 1. Dayton. 3, 2, 1. Is it canon? It was on TV. Gene said
he heard that. He heard that even though he didn't hear it.
I know.
He heard it.
It set off his canon sense.
It rippled through the ground and... and he's going to punch you in the nuts.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
But seriously, Gene said if
there was a disturbance in the force,
it was canon, right?
Well, whose show did it occur in?
Webster, but it was Dorn.
Yeah.
On the Enterprise.
I know.
It's canon, baby.
Too funny. Is it canon? That would, you know what? It would totally be canon, but during the Parallels episode.
I think that Dayton does need to work it into one of his...
Totally. Or somebody does. Somebody fix that.
Oh, fuck. I'm blanking. Oh, God. The novel.
From History's Shadow?
Yes, thank you. I kept thinking Strangers from the Sky, but that's an older book. From History's Shadow. There's got to be a shout out to Webster in there in the sequel. Wow. Are you there?
Well, this is a very cool thing for all of our fan fiction friends, and I really wanted to post this because it's not common when fan fiction writers are celebrated by the mainstream. And in this one article that came out this week, I was shocked as hell and very happy to see that USA Today did a story on a woman who does fan fiction, mostly Doctor Who. But as they interviewed her, they asked her to develop recommendations for fan fiction for other genres. And congratulations to Ad Astra Fan Fiction Archive for making it on her list.
Yay.
Of recommended fanfic sites. Head down, you can look under Doctor Who. She has given recommendations for Farscape, and then in Star Trek, it's Ad Astra, the Kirk Spock Fanfiction Archive, the Star Trek Fandom at fanfiction.net, and Star Trek Fandom at an archive of our own. They made her list for, I think it's a she. It might be he. No, it's a, okay. He put together from a pal named Deborah Stanish. So she won the 2014 Hugo Fancast category for her Doctor Who podcast. So there we go. So congratulations to Ad Astra for actually getting a link in USA Today. So yay.
Fucking A, people.
All right. We have a little bit of Star Trek news, Star Trek Online news.
I was going to ask first, have they gone radio silent on the third movie?
Yeah, which is a good thing. That means they're working.
Yeah.
That means they're working.
Yeah.
I mean, Simon
they're
Pegg
in pre now, aren't they?
Oh, because they start filming on April 15th.
That's what I thought.
In Canada.
Okay. You know, I know somebody who hates Canadians. But talking to this person, exactly.
What's wrong with this person?
What's wrong with this person? Talking to Canadians, to this friend, I discovered what it was.
Oh.
This person lived in Maine.
Okay.
The Canadians that they came into contact with were Quebecers. I was like, oh, well, even the rest of Canada hates them, so don't worry about it. They're French-speaking, fucking baguette-eating pricks.
Yum. Yay. Well, let's get to the Star Trek Online news.
I want to play Star Trek Online.
Engineering here. Warp engines are online.
Course laid in, Captain.
Engage.
Your ship.
Warning. Ship is under attack.
Your crew.
Move out.
Your destiny.
Yes, Star Trek Online was part of the Perfect World family. And yes, there were layoffs last week.
Yes.
Total of 18 people from Cryptic were laid off, correct? Including Matt Miller, who used to be the lead developer a long time ago for City of Heroes, and our former community manager, Trevor, a.k.a. Captain Smirk, were laid off. We do not have verification of anybody else who had been laid off. I do know that most of them, or a big chunk of them, came from the Neverwinter team, and our condolences to everyone who lost their job, and we hope that you are able to find something soon so you can get back up and running. It, of course, threw the entire community in the forums into chaos, all 50 of them. Oh,
fucking adults. You know, Will Vate, hi Will, it's sweetie, and I have been standing back to back in our cat-like defensive crouches several times in the last couple of weeks.
Have you?
There were people that were like, well, he should have been fired because he couldn't even really play the game when I watched the live stream. That's not his job to play the game, okay? He plays the game because he's a fan. His job as community his job as community manager was to impart communication between us. And then fucking people, oh, well, he didn't do this. You don't know what he did. You're the fucking reason that people hate the trolls.
Yeah.
Sit down, shut up, and eat your porridge.
Mike, what was your take on it when you first heard?
Heard about the layoffs.
Yeah.
I felt bad for everyone that was losing their job. That was my big thing, and trying to figure out, who on the team was leaving, because they're all a very talented group of people.
Right.
They work tirelessly to give us a few minutes or a few hours of pleasure, and I love their work, and it's sad to see them go.
Yeah.
So I wish them all the best. I hope they find work quickly, and hopefully the rest of the team are able to carry on, with after losing some of their friends.
Yeah, and that's the hard part too, is people don't realize really what it is how does it affect morale for the rest of the team, and it really does come around to how strong is that team, and to how much do they really understand the need for the layoffs. Layoffs just don't occur because people aren't, there's always a financial reason for it. And yeah, it's cold and it's heartless, and business can be very cold and very, very heartless. And that's why it's just, my hearts go out to Matt and to Trevor, and we wish you all the best. And yet we're here, our hearts go out to the team that stays, because they are losing a daily friend. People don't realize too is that, what is it that I have really come to learn in my older age, and that is, you spend a third of your life with your family, a third of your life sleeping, and the third of your life is spent working.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to be able
as big part of your family as anyone else.
And if they don't, they should be, and you need to leave. I mean, that's really what it comes down to for me, is that it was a lesson that was very hard learned for me.
And wasn't Matt Miller working there for like 10 years? I mean,
when he was there, he was working on City of Heroes before they sold City of Heroes.
Yeah, so I mean, he was there for 10 years. So that's having this pillar of their community all of a sudden upended and gone.
Right.
I mean, you go to the coffee room and hey, there's Matt. And all of a sudden today, where's Matt?
Right. And so it's a hard thing. And so our hearts go out to the entire team. And we hope that we just hope that things get smooth, because we understand the kind of crazy that this can occur. However, we do have some interesting news that have come out from Star Trek Online that shows that life is going on and continues to move forward.
Season 10 is drawing closer.
What was that?
Season 10 is drawing closer.
Holy crap. When is it? We have a date yet? We don't have a date.
I don't know, but the way that they're releasing stuff, I'm thinking it's coming with the Delta Recruit.
Well, I had heard, and that I think Trendy tweeted, by the way, we still have a community manager, everybody. Laughing Trendy is it. She now gets the whole kit and caboodle. Laughing Trendy tweeted that the Delta Recruit is coming out with season 10. We just don't know when season 10 is coming out.
It'll probably come out the date, it's April something. It's like April 3rd, I think, that Delta Recruit is supposed to start. I have a feeling it's going to be right around probably that same day.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about some of the stuff that I've been seeing coming out. Because to be honest with you, I'm a little confused. And Mike, I'm hoping you can help me sort this out for our listeners too.
I'll try.
Some of the news that has been coming out has been this debriefing session. Is this a new featured episode that's coming out?
There is supposed to be a featured episode. As far as I know, hold on. Do you have a link for if you don't have a link, give me a minute to find it.
I have one. I have this, and I have this. I know that Brotherhood of the Sword is another thing that came out. I'm like, what the heck is this? What is this? So we're getting almost daily updates on stuff that's coming out. Were you saying something?
Okay,
I'm sorry.
Brotherhood of the Sword, wasn't that a Conan movie?
All right, the debriefing. This is just kind of like a little thing to kind of sort of bridge the gap. The thing that's coming out, the featured episode, is called Uneasy Allies.
Okay.
Let me get that link there.
Okay.
Okay, so Star Trek Online recently celebrated its 5th anniversary. The Iconians are coming.
Right.
We kind of suspected that already, based on some of the things that they were talking about. So this is going to be Sayla, and it's going to apparently continue the story of what she's been up to, and hopefully move things along. There's also been a lot of STO news coming out this week. There's also been announcements of a couple other what are they? Cute episode events.
Oh, PVEQ events?
Yeah, PVEQ events. So those also kind of sort of help tell the story. But you had posted a link for the debriefing. So this is just kind of showing a moment, so to speak, of the aftermath of the last episode that we had, which showed us recapturing or getting our hands on Sayla. So we know now that from this debriefing that she's in Romulan hands. They're interrogating her. They're trying to, find out what she knows about the Iconians. She's not saying much. And that they don't trust her. They think they don't know exactly how to treat her. But they're being extremely cautious, which is a good thing because she's exceedingly dangerous at this point. The Brotherhood of the Sword, apparently this is one of the PVEQ events. It looks like Kronos is going to be invaded again. So the first city is
Kronos,
in flames.
DS9, it doesn't matter.
And I have to admit that when I first heard it, that this was coming, I groaned. It's like Kronos again. But then I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? Klingons, we're tough. We can handle it.
You can handle it.
The Romulans are in no shape. I mean, if they were the ones being invaded, I mean, they would just, I'm sorry to say, but the New Republic would probably be over. I think they're too fragile at this point. And that's
which is why they needed the allies, right?
Yeah, which prompted also the discussion that Nick and I had this week. That's where
you had no answer for my final retort to that.
Also true.
How tough Klingon. Mike was telling me how tough Klingons are. Okay, throw a tribble in a room full of Klingons and see how tough they are. They scatter like wool.
Oh my God, we had a mouse in our office this week. I can tell you, it was like Klingons in a tribble. I swear to God, all the women screaming. It's like, are you kidding me? Tiny. It was 1 inch long. Poor little field mouse. Fuckers are gonna kill it.
Real quick. When I was in Iraq, I'm sitting in the office, and I have to tell you, the office I was in, it's called a skiff. It's a secure area.
Yeah.
It was deep inside this building, and it was a Sunday morning, and Sunday mornings were generally slow. You had till noon to get in on Sundays. It was like the only day you even got a little bit of a break. And I'm sitting at my computer, and I'm working, and I look, and there is a rat walking against the wall, walking down towards me. The thing is, this was a rodent of unusual size. This thing, I'm not kidding when I tell you, it was the size of a raccoon, this rat.
Are you sure it wasn't a raccoon?
Positive. And I was like, it's just walking down the side of the wall with reckless abandon. Like, I don't pay attention to you bastards. What are you doing? And the major that was in the office with me, I was like, hey, sir, check it out. Because that's how you react by just going, hey, check it out, because you're in Iraq.
Right.
The major, who was a ranger, gets up, takes his M4,
oh my God,
butt strokes it in the head.
Oh my God.
To kill it. It took him 3 shots.
Yeah, I believe
3
it.
butt strokes. This thing was huge.
Oh my God.
It just looked at him first time and said, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. It looked and said, who the fuck? And then the major took it and put it in a Ziploc bag and put it in a coworker's desk. And she
that would have been me, wouldn't it? It would have been my desk if it,
yeah. Well, see, she made the mistake the week before of covering his desk in glitter.
Oh, yeah. Enough said.
Yeah.
So it was
when she opened
retort.
her desk.
It was a retort.
Yes.
All right, so getting back to STO.
Yes.
There's another PvE queued event coming out called the Herald Sphere. For that one, apparently part of the story goes that the Allies develop a new ship capable of propping open the Iconian
Gate. All
so,
right.
So I guess we're going to be taking the battle to them, and we're going to another Dyson sphere, but this one is where the Iconians have been hiding, is
Hanging
what
out.
I suspect. Yeah. So a lot came out this week. I mean,
this is a lot of stuff. I mean, it's so to counteract the doomsayers that raised their ugly heads after the layoffs occurred, to come out with all of this information that season 10 is bringing forward, as well as other content that is coming out for PvEQs, the repeatable content. It's just chill out.
I was going to say, and there's another piece of news that came out this week as well. The pilot specialization. They've expanded that.
And this is the same pilot specialization that we kind of had as a secondary, but now they're making it a primary.
Actually, from what I understand, they're expanding it so it has more skills for one.
Okay.
And then they're kind of sort of unlocking all the specializations so you can slot whatever you want into primary and secondary,
regardless of the specialty.
News earlier this week, the pilot specialization that set me off on that rant?
I think so.
Yeah.
Terry, did you read that rant that I had?
I just don't agree with it. I'm having a good time.
That's fine, but I think the point that came out of it was, and you and Mike have both said that Delta Rising starts slow.
Yeah.
They haven't, how do I say that? Other things have, in the marketplace for my time.
Right. You found other things to do. We understand that.
Having that slow start, I don't think helps.
Well, here's the thing.
You know what I mean?
It's a slow start for people who are already at max and have, to be honest with you again, and I'll just say it over and over and over again. It was a little rough to get through with Beth, my main character, because she had already maxed out reputation. She has already done pretty much everything. And so Delta Rising was gated to her, right? She had to grind the Kabali crime zone to level up, to open up another featured episode and some more patrols. And that's the way it was for those 10, or actually probably more like 6 levels. However, I have to say the game is completely different on one of my alts that I haven't touched since he made level 50. I started playing him again this week. This is my Greg Ryan character. He's at
I don't
level
even know
50.
that name. My God, that's one of your deep alts.
It's one of my deep alts. And he doesn't have any reputation. He didn't have any R&D. He didn't have any. This is level 50. I stopped playing him when he maxed out at level 50. So imagine my joy when I get into this character. I bring it up. I've got my tier 6 ships that I can throw on him now and get them moving on towards their mastery. He's at level 50, and I'll be darned if the first episode that pops up for him to play is the very first Cardassian episode. So I'm still I started playing him on Tuesday or Wednesday. He's up to level 53. and I'm just now starting the Borg episode. So if that tells you anything, and now I've got him doing duty officer stuff. So he didn't have any duty officers or anything. So for me, getting to level 60 and when I get to level 60, and I'm assuming I still have all of the Dyson Sphere stuff to do. I still have all.
If you're just doing the Borg, you're way back there.
Way back there, right?
Yeah, it's going to be easy
It's going to be so much easier on him, which is why I can tell you that the new system that they have coming up for the Delta recruitment is so damn brilliant. You're going to want to start a new character now, because by the time that character makes it to level 60, all of the Delta Rising stuff is going to be unlocked.
I have a feeling they're going to rebalance the experience that you earn.
They kind of need to. Yeah, they
so
do.
It's going to. I think it's going to be paced a little bit better.
I think so too.
Where for the recruitment, you have to get through the Breen content. You have to complete everything up until the Breen content, which I think that's going to be the new level 50, level 60.
Yeah,
I have a feeling. Don't quote me on that, but that's my feeling.
And even still, that's okay. There's a lot of. I mean, I even took my Bill Riker character out for a spin, and he's just made it to the Dyson Sphere. And I have to say, I had fun doing the ground control.
Well, and I think there's the difference is having, like with Stan.
Yeah, it's hard on your main.
I wasn't having any fun. I'm just bored to tears.
Yeah,
and that is and I had brought this up a long time ago. With the competition for time / even money. It just having Delta start out that way to me was that it's kind of brutal, and I haven't been back in almost 2 months.
Yeah,
and
it is brutal.
I want to, but when I think about it, I did go in. I'm sorry, I have been in the last month because I did take Stan and Trehu, both of them. I took to Vulcan and to New Romulus to pay respects to Leonard Nimoy. But as far as playing, I haven't. But I did. But I see like these new systems. I don't know. It just. Yeah, I had things spec'd out, and now things have changed.
Way changed. Very much so.
I spent all that time getting Stan where I wanted him. Years.
Yeah.
Well,
you know what I mean?
As someone that has been chugging along, and oh my god, I've been playing STO so much, too much probably, but
are you playing a train chugging along?
No, I had the window open, and
that is awesome though. Like, that was the best synergy ever.
A minute ago, you should have heard the cats fucking outside the window. I mean, it's just yeah. But anyways, so now we have trains. But anyways. I have my pilot specialization maxed out. Yesterday morning, I maxed out my intelligence specialization. I'm now working towards my command specialization. So, and I also got another piece of epic equipment. It's a lot of work, yes, but the things that the specialization unlocks, especially on the piloting area. I mean, I used to hate flying cruisers because the turn rate was so horrible.
So bad.
It was agony. I don't mind them. However, the battle cruiser I'm in right now, I hate because it's just like what it was before. But the problem, or the thing that's going on with that is, I'm now working on other specializations, and this thing's a boat in the first place.
Now, question for you.
Yeah.
And this is not to. I'm trying not to nitpick, and I don't think this is. So let's say Stan, I go with a pilot specialization, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stan's not a pilot. He's the commander. Beth is the commander. Ceridium is the commander.
Yes, but these are passives that affect your ship.
Yep.
Having the specialization, is all it does is just it benefits you. It doesn't. Sure, he doesn't have to be a pilot, but you're going to want these specializations just because they're going to open up a lot of doors, a lot of new get up and go.
A lot, yeah. They're, it's just all of these passive traits that you have the ability to kind of select and kind of artfully, I guess, spec your character in a deeper way. It never takes away the original specs that you have.
It only enhances them.
It only enhances them. And I've got Beth training actually as a commando, not a commander just yet. I've got her. I want to max out all the ground stuff first.
Mm-hmm. For you, that makes sense.
That's because that's really where I prefer to play, especially that character. But I have to say, I have an engineer that I'll probably do as command first, and then and maybe even pilot. But these are passives that come just with the normal the normal play of the game, and it's the same with your ship. The same thing happens now with your tier 6 ships. Is you get the 5 levels to master your ship, and then once you reach the mastery level of that particular ship, you get another passive that you can slot on any ship that you tend to fly. So it becomes an advantage now to start swapping out tier 6 ships as you master them, gain the mastery on them, and then have the choice
and then switch back and
forth to the ships that you really like. But now you've got
I don't want to be that guy, but I don't want to have to switch ships. I worked too hard to get to the ship I have that I love. I don't want to have to switch out of it.
Yeah, and that is a disadvantage, because the only way that you're going to be able to get those passives are to play multiple ships.
Right, and I'm sorry, that's if I wanted to do.
Well, I mean, I understand where he's coming from, folks.
Quickly.
I really do. Huh, Mike?
You gain mastery very quickly.
You do.
But what do I have to do to get a tier 6 ship? Do I have to spend money?
No. Well,
no, maybe.
They do have some on the C-Store. They do have some, in lock boxes, but you can also earn a couple of them. So it's not like you're stuck spending money. But once you get the ship, to unlock the skill, I mean, depending on how often you play, it's only space that will contribute to it. But some of the ships that I've flown and I've mastered, I mean, it's within a few days and you're done.
Yeah. I started playing Greg on, what did I say, Wednesday? I think I started playing Greg on Wednesday. He's already level 3 mastery on the intelligence escort that I put him in, and he's at level 53 and mastery 3 on the intelligence escort.
I don't know. Between having to do boring ass patrols at the start of Delta Rising, which is why I've stopped playing because that bored me, and now hearing switch it just. Yeah,
I know. I'm not dissing you. I think that you have
I know. It's just having to do those patrols really turned me off, especially having to fucking go from one sector to another where the planet. It's not like where the planets were even in the same
section of space.
Yeah, I solar system kind of thing.
I get that, but
that was just like I'm just flying back and forth here.
But those space levels
for 15 seconds of battle.
But those space battles are exactly what you need to master your ship. So I mean, it's a kind of there is a benefit, and that's I think
I had already
mastered
this ship though.
Well, like I said, to work on the next
I mastered it.
The next mastery. That's the point. That's the point I was trying to make.
But I don't want another ship after mastered. See, that's the point.
Well, I know. And right now, it is the new tech that's been put into the game, and we all know that that's kind of how the game has been working for the past couple of years. Is they install a new set of tech, and then the content comes later that uses the tech. Hopefully that's what we'll be getting. Well, I know season 10 we're going to get more tech. That I do know. Some of it's already on, some of the new. God, I have to say I love the new space map, the new sector map for space. So nice. I'm very, very pleased, because you did know that we were getting that, right, Nick?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No longer are we going to have to transition map to map to get from like Sirius sector to regular sector. We can just just fly there. It's awesome. So a lot of new tech will be coming out this season. It is a huge thing, and a lot of Mike, you brought it up too, which is these are. Or maybe it was the guys in Caspian this week that we were talking about. A lot of these things are coming at a time when a new player or a new person who creates a new character during the Delta recruitment phase will need to see that. We'll need to see the new sector space map, because you don't want to bring in a new player and then all of a sudden switch the
right. Yeah.
So
yeah, it's gonna I think it's gonna happen at the same time. It's gonna be almost like the free to play launch, where they release it all at once. They encourage new players to come in and check out all the new stuff, and it's yeah.
I've been trying to put my finger on what I was trying to say earlier. Remember way back? Wow, and this is us going back now.
Yeah.
When dilithium was introduced as and we said, I don't remember Kirk
pissed.
having to mine dilithium to get repairs done on the Enterprise.
Yep.
I don't remember Kirk or Picard having to switch out ships to gain mastery on something, then go back to their ship.
Oh, now here's the argument for this. Now, the only argument is all of us are already fucking fleet admirals, but be that as it may, be that as it may, you could also make the argument Kirk didn't start off on the Enterprise, and everybody had a career. They needed to go from ship to ship. I mean,
Thon didn't start. Well, he started out. All his ships have been Gettysburg.
Right.
He started out on a Miranda class.
Right.
And he's worked his way up.
Right.
But now that he's on the Sovereign class, that's what he wanted to work his way up to. Is the flagship of the Federation, the USS Gettysburg, 1064, 1063. That's right. I said.
And I love the Sovereign. I do. It's my favorite.
Yeah, but see, that's I'm looking at it this. Oh, that's awesome. That is a great.
Somebody for our listeners, Matthew Anderson just put a funny
kind of an answer to that meme.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's what it reminds me of, though, is the when the dilithium was introduced and how upset we were because you never remember Picard having to mine dilithium, get out in his spacesuit and mine dilithium. That's what it reminds me of, is to keep the.
But Janeway did.
Well, Janeway's an idiot. But to mine, to switch out of, Janeway didn't have to switch out of Voyager to do upgrades to Voyager just to go back into Voyager.
No, it happened by magic.
Well, that's true. It happened by Braga vision. That's all I'm saying is
I understand.
It becomes hard enough for me to set up my trays as it is.
Oh,
no, I'm being dead serious about that.
Speaking of trays, I tell you, what's been driving me nuts this week is the fucking bridge officer bug. Mike, have you been getting hit with that?
Oh, what exactly is it? Because I probably have, most likely, but what is it exactly so I know what
your entire fucking stations are empty when you zone in.
Okay, thank you.
Not
when
always,
I logged in to go to the Nimoy thing, it was empty.
Yep.
Everything was empty. I was like, what the fuck did they do?
And you can reset it, and here's where it came into play, especially when I was playing this week on the Cardassian side, or the Cardassian side, and you go into Empok Nor, right? So he's shooty, go into Empok Nor, do the ground piece, but when you come back out, know that you're facing a goddamn
and everything's gone.
I had no powers, and and it was an automatic attack. So I was like, oh my god. So I had to bring up P, hit the unlock, not bring up P, but bring up my and then go to stations and then select. Now here's the thing that pissed me off, is that when you go to select your bridge officers to restation them, it also reverts back to the very first training that they had.
Yes.
Oh no.
That I hate, but it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen very often.
It happened to me 5 times this week. 5 times where I had to go in, bring up my tactical officer, and not only that, I had to go back into their ensign slot or their the lieutenant slot, whatever the first one is, the fucking ensign slot, and then take out beam fire at will for cannon or tactical maneuvers or whatever it was for
cannon,
tactical, and then put it in with torpedo spread 1. And I because that's what I fucking wanted. I wanted to, because Cardassians, you have to bring down their shields, and here I am getting my ass kicked by a Galor class cruiser while I'm
Which is a
trying to
tough little nut to
put
begin
my
with.
guys into their stations. Oh, I was so pissed.
Because the Galar class cruiser is a tough little nut to begin with.
Oh, and then God forbid you come up with one of the what are the ones that start with a K? Oh,
The
Jesus.
Keldon.
The Keldon class, the ones that come up with the photonic ones. Oh,
Yeah, I've seen the bug a few times, but it's intermittent. It doesn't happen all the time, but yeah,
Right.
and when it does happen, it is very annoying.
When it does happen, it happens at the worst possible moment.
Yes, that seems to be the thing. It happens when you're least expected.
Right.
But for instance, I've zoned into a crystalline entity event.
Yes.
Only to zoom all the way over to the crystalline entity, only to realize, wait a minute, where's all my crap?
Where's my crew? Beth zoned into the crystalline entity this week. There is no crew, and and here's the other thing: because you're pugging it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're pugging it, the first thing I have to do is I have to go into the chat room, hit team, go into the chat and tell everybody, oh my God, I have no buffs. I'll be there as soon as I can. So they don't think
you're just
I'm
laying back,
sitting there. So, I'll be there as soon as I have power.
What I've actually had to do the one time that I saw that I had it happen to be in a CE was I was already attacking the CE by the time I realized I had no powers. It's like, God damn it, I need a heal.
Oh God.
Oh
so
my God.
I go to reach for a heal and there's nothing there. And I was like, oh crap. Escape velocity. I zoom out of there.
Evasive maneuver.
I get out of there. Wait till the aggro dies down because you can't change it while you're getting attacked, or while So then I change I change my powers, set everything up the way that I want them.
So we love you guys, but fix the
it's
bug.
Annoying. That's annoying.
Fix this bug.
My favorite jumping in thing though that I've ever seen, and it wasn't a bug, it was stupidity.
Wazzy,
do you know what?
it?
Huh?
Was Wazzy?
It was Waz, right? When he jumped into the Borg one in his shuttle.
Yes. Oh no, that happened to me this week. During the Crystalline Entity event on Maury, on my Klingon character.
Maury?
Maury's a Klingon? She's an Orion.
Maury?
She's Morrigan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I call her Maury. So Maury zoned in with the little Klingon shuttle, and it had no weapons on it, no engine, no nothing. And I'm like, excuse me. And once again, in chat team, sorry guys, I have no engine, and I'm in a shuttle. I'll be back as soon as I can.
But that was hilarious. The time we were doing this was old. This was when
the shuttle at the Borg. God, that was hilarious.
STFs were you had to do the ground and it wasn't split. Yeah, it wasn't split. And we jumped in and he was in the shuttle.
Well, remember that was it Wazzy that zoned in, but he had forgotten to put an engine in his ship.
Yep.
And it took him 20 minutes.
I thought that was Woody.
Woody. It might have been Woody. Where he forgot to put an engine in his ship.
In an STF.
But it took him like 20 minutes to go by impulse to get to the edge of the map. So he could zone out.
We were laughing so hard on TeamSpeak.
That was close to it. It was just after Caspian was created, Mark.
Hey, Mav.
It was after Wanderhome. Was it during Wanderhome?
No, because I was there.
Jesus. You were there, so it had.
I was in that battle because I was laughing so hard. I was crying.
I almost peed my pants. I laughed so hard. He goes, "I have no engine." We were like, "Oh my God!" It might have been Baller.
His Woody way of talking. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry, guys. Oh, what have I done?
It was so funny. Oh, we roared. And we felt bad because we really couldn't. We had to leave because we wouldn't be able to succeed without him. And so we all had to leave the map, but he was stuck in the map, just trying to get to one of the sides, just to get to one of the edges of the map, so he could get the little warning that said.
Nobody had tractor beam repulsors to kind of like edge him along.
No,
we all jumped out
then.
Oh boy!
Are you kidding? It was every ship for themselves. We're out of here. Bye.
Oh my God, we laughed and laughed and laughed.
But then every time there's something like that, there's also the bug where we were down on the with the Tholians.
ground. That was the most awesome bug.
And we spawned about
ever.
200 non-playing characters.
Did you remember that bug, Mike? Or did you ever get that one where you teamed up with 5 of your, it was a team of 5 of your
I've
fleet
heard
mates
of
or
it,
whatever.
but I did not see it.
The bug was that you still beamed down with all of your bridge officers. So
And then when you
every
beamed
person
in a
had a team of 5, so
team
you
or
had
something like that.
25. Oh my God, they were the battles were glorious.
Somebody beamed in their security team, and they had the DOF or the BOF thing where it would beam in extra team members.
So you got 4.
Yeah, so I mean, literally, it was like Mark of Gideon. People were just running everywhere.
People running everywhere. Bridge officers were running everywhere. Nothing was left alive.
I don't think I literally don't think Stan fired a shot that entire time because by the time I targeted something, it was gone.
Do everything. It was the best. I think I still have a picture of it somewhere.
Yeah, because isn't that the one where we were all like posing like hunters? Hey, any convention news?
Something I didn't notice real quick. Since you're talking about, it was a Tholian event that you had experienced that. Something I had noticed is that there's a disconnect between the Tholian PvE queued and the Tholian ground. They do not count towards each other. What I mean is, if you have like the hard mission for the Nukara ground map, you can't do the PvE hard for credit. So the only way to complete...
You have to go down to Nukara to do it.
You have to go down to Nukara with a team, because finding one is going to be impossible because everyone's doing the PvE queued version.
Right.
So it's like, it's just annoying.
I never do the hard ones on the ground. I always, to be honest with you, I very rarely do Nukara anymore because I have Beth at level 5.
Well, I've been going in and trying to clear out my mission log because I've accepted all these missions over the years.
Yeah.
So on my Klingon, I've been going through and I've been, going through and checking them off. Obviously, I'm having trouble with some of the Borg ground, the Deferi Borg ground, and the Nukara, the hard, because they require teams of 3 or more.
Right.
So it's like, damn it.
Well,
and of course, like I said, the PvE queue does not count towards that. So that's annoying.
Marv just reminded me, remember when we did the Borg STF in like 12 minutes?
Yeah.
The one that used to take an hour?
Yeah.
And we did it just running through.
Because you used the bug. Well, you used the bug, and then everybody beams down security teams?
Yeah.
It was just like, okay, let's beam down 25 bridge officers plus 2 extra per person. That's 49 people.
I'm trying to remember who it was that had a medical officer, and we all got killed. It was the one with the Borg Queen, and the medical officer was the only one in there, and the character was, if I remember, a tiny, tiny, tiny toon.
I remember that
like
one.
An Ewok, and we were watching through the force field, and they beat the Borg Queen.
Solo, pretty much.
Solo, because everybody else was stuck on the other side of the force
We were on the other side of the barrier. How funny. I remember that. It had to be Baller. It didn't, or Wazzy. Wazzy had the little characters because he also made the Armin Shimmerman character.
And his character was running back and forth and jumping and bouncing and taking shots at the Queen, and we were all dying laughing, and we were like, just, when are you going to die? And then took the Queen out, and there was like the roar that went up from the group. It was like the most awesome thing ever. It was hilarious. We all died like within 2 seconds of the Borg Queen coming out. She like fucking raped us, right? She bent us over and shoved Borg implants into our ball sacks. And he was running, and he was a medic, so he kept being able to heal himself like unbelievably fast. That was the thing. We were putting cannons and mortars and stuff on our side of the force field, but it was still firing through the force field.
It was drawing aggro from the Queen.
It was drawing aggro, right?
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, and we were dancing on the other side of the shield. So, like, Stan's doing the running man, and this poor bastard's running for his life.
That's when bugs are really, really funny. But the bug that we have right now, the BOF bug that we have right now. It's not funny. It's
No,
not
that's
funny.
not funny. Terry, is there any
Yeah.
convention news?
There, you know what? There is. So let's talk about that real quick.
And then I've got a Shuttlepod 1 for you. A Shuttlepod 1 that will blow your mind.
Okay, let's see here. Star Trek convention.
Shall we just start right off the bat with a Las Vegas update?
Are we still talking Vegas, right?
We are.
Talking about Vegas.
Yes.
You're coming to Vegas, right?
Star Trek Las Vegas may take place every August, but on this show.
This is where we hang out the rest of the year.
Exactly.
The crew has been fatigued now from so many months in space, and they need to take a break. The landing party has beamed down to check out the terrain while the crew gets ready to play. They say there's only plant life living on this lovely rock, but a rodent appears wearing a vest.
I still have to get used to, but the first news that we have is as soon as I get the confirmation, we've got our booth for this year's Star Trek convention in August. Yay!
Right on.
What we do, people.
And William Shatner, Joan Collins, Jerry Ryan, James Darren, Michael Westmore has been announced this week.
Awesome.
Right on.
I just heard Janice squeak.
I think
Big
that's very
Westmore.
cool. And what I like about it is that he's getting good headlines because of his affiliation with, although they're not saying it here, which I think is so fun.
Because of Face Off?
Yeah, because of Face Off. But here's the disadvantage or the advantage. I don't know. Creation doesn't talk, and I guess it's because they're really not allowed to pitch somebody else's work if it's not a licensed Star Trek thing. So they're not even really talking
Michael Westmore is a licensed Star Trek thing.
Thank you, but and all they're doing in his bio is talking about his direct to Star Trek stuff. They're not talking about his new sci-fi thing. I don't know. It's so silly. It's not like we don't know. Harry Farrell. We knew about that. We knew about that.
Yeah, last week we had gone over.
We did. We went through the whole list.
The entire list. So we're just looking for updates this week, right?
Yeah, I'm looking. Oh, the Okudas have announced. Were they already on there?
I don't remember
no,
them, no.
So David L. Ross, who played Lieutenant Galloway in the original series, he'll be there. Herman Zimmerman, who was the art director for pretty much all of Star Trek, he'll be there, and I absolutely adore him. He will be signing. Mr. Zimmerman will be making a rare personal appearance and taking part in our tribute to the special effects and design of Star Trek franchise on a day to be announced. Schedule permitting, Mr. Zimmerman will sign autographs on a complimentary basis and tentative for attendees.
Now, Terry, last year we got Michael Okuda.
Yes.
Who are we going to kidnap this year?
I would love to get Herman Zimmerman.
You know what though? People think I'm kidding when I say this. Terry and I were absolutely over the moon when Brandon Braga stopped by our booth.
Yeah.
And he was so nice to us.
He was very nice.
He doesn't know what we've said about him in the past.
He probably does, but he doesn't know that I've forgiven him since then because I grew up.
That was so cool that I got Brandon Braga at our booth. Everybody be cool. Everybody be nice. You be nice. Terry leaned over. She said to me, she looked me in the eye and she goes, "You be nice."
I did too.
And I was the one that was going, "Terry, look who it is. Terry, look." And then Walter Koenig stopped by too.
Isn't he a sweetheart?
He is a sweetheart.
He is a sweetheart.
He's old.
So they're doing a big thing for the art department. So we've got Herman Zimmerman, Rick Sternbach, Mike and Denise Okuda, and Ronald B. Moore, who will all be attending to talk about the visual effects, which I think is appropriate, especially now that the entire Star Trek: The Next Generation series has now been issued as a whole series on Blu-ray now, which is awesome. I really, really want it. I have a couple of seasons on Blu-ray. I only have like 2 seasons, so I'm trying to figure out, do I want to just buy the other 7 seasons or 5 seasons, or do I want to buy the whole pack? I don't know.
You better clear it with your man first. Everybody heard the look, didn't they?
Yeah, they heard the look. Yeah,
they heard the look.
Even Alan, you can hear him from down the hallway. It's not me.
And then make him a grilled cheese sandwich.
Yes, make him a grilled cheese sandwich. I love grilled cheese sandwich.
All right,
I can't have them anymore.
Are you ready?
All right, so let's do this.
Life Pod 1.
You are flying a diplomatic mission from Alderaan. Just go with me on this. On
Crossing
board,
streams now.
I know. You have been attacked by a Tholian task force. You have 5 guests on board. You can only take 4 into Shuttle Pod 111. Here are your passengers. Admiral Nechayev, Admiral Paris, General Martok. I've got these written down. Admiral Ross, and General Chang.
Who do you leave behind?
I told you this was a good one.
No, it's a real. It's. I'm already at a 50-50. Nechayev stays. Martok stays.
Martok stays regardless.
Ross stays. I'm having a difficult time between Paris and Chang, and the only reason why is because Chang would probably stab me in the back.
Martok would keep him in check. You got to look at it like that.
Well, that's kind of. But Ross is kind of useless. I mean, Paris is kind of useless.
How dare you?
Yeah. So that's why I'm kind of like, do I want? But I would trust Paris more than I would trust Chang.
And remember,
Chang
Paris
can go die. The thing is, that Chang can go die, and it would be honorable. And so there we go. Chang goes. And besides, I'd be I'd get really tired of the Shakespearean bullshit. I would. I'm like, just shut up. Shut up.
Is it me or
like
is this...
McCoy would say? It's just like I would give real money if that guy would shut up. Go ahead, Mike.
Is it me or was this kind of sort of set up in such a way that there really only is one answer?
No, it wasn't.
To me, it seems like there's only one answer.
Really? Because I'm surprised that somebody else wasn't on the chopping block, but go ahead.
Sayonara Chang.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. What do we know about Nechayev that she's worth keeping?
He's a smart cookie.
Okay.
He wasn't wrong.
So is Paris. So is Chang.
Yeah, but like I said, it's a trust thing.
Leave behind Paris and Chang. There's more leg room.
And really, and I mean, yeah, it's just, it's Chang. It's Chang.
It's Chang.
Because I really would. He would totally annoy me.
You can't trust the guy.
Yeah. You can't trust him.
I mean, he had an honorable career. He but really, I mean, he's gonna put a dagger in your back and smile and recite Shakespeare doing it.
All right, if we take out Chang and we put in, for the love of fucking God.
I love it. It was awesome, though.
I can't believe that I'm blanking on her name.
What?
Dinatra.
Okay, what about
Take out Chang and put in Dinatra.
Paris stays. Paris, he gets booted out.
Wow,
I take Dinatra.
Not even a thought. Paris is gone.
Paris is gone.
Mike, if Dinatra's swapped out for Chang?
I'm still thinking.
I'm thinking Martok and Dinatra.
I love the way you said that.
I'm thinking Martok and Dinatra would be
tight. My God, could you imagine that?
They'd be tight.
See, for me, the only one that was a definite keep was Martok.
Yeah.
And Ross is just a hair behind him.
Yeah, yep. I agree. First, Martok stays. I loved Ross because he was competent.
Mm-hmm.
He was smart and competent and funny and just... And I could see where he and Martok would also be very good friends. I could see where that would work out. And Nechayev would definitely back them up.
She's
because
intelligence.
She's so smart. She wasn't dumb.
She was intelligence as his career.
Yeah.
Wasn't she?
I don't know. Maybe. But as far as Paris was concerned, nice guy and everything
but
to an
he's
extent.
Also,
but he was
you have to keep in mind, Paris, the only time that we really saw him was in Voyager, and it was when he was pining over his son.
No, he was also in charge of the Pathfinder project.
The Pathfinder missions. But he was also
pining
there.
over his son.
And it is part of the thing is, he was there to create tension and drama for Tom. That's exactly right.
I disagree. You look at the episodes with Reg. Paris was very much in charge and quite brilliant when it comes to communications and the science of all of that.
I still think that he's more expendable than the others. Well, of course, than Chang, but Chang was first. He's like the big outer gun.
Then when Dinatra's introduced, it becomes Paris?
Yeah. No.
Mike?
Yes. If you're switching out Chang for Dinatra stays. Namely because I would probably just want to see how she handles it with Ross and Martok.
Well, for me, if it's Dinatra in there, everybody else stays and it's just me and Dinatra on the show.
Yeah, I figured that. I was going to say that's just you.
That's me. Well, maybe Nechayev too. After meeting her at the convention.
She's so sweet.
She so is.
Mike, would you keep Dinatra or would you punt her?
Easy. Oh, punt.
Punt.
She let me make sure. Dinatra is the senator that ended up smoking everybody with the weapon.
No, she's the cool, beautiful one who was the She was the good guy Romulan at the end of Nemesis. On her ship, she had the
How do you?
She was the real
I have to
one.
take my headphones off for a second and rub my temples.
Then refresh my memory. Who was that chick? That senator.
Oh, I don't remember
Was that
her name.
Telura?
Yeah, that was Talora.
Okay, excuse me, but that's where I got mixed up between.
Denach was the one where he said, "If you ever touch me again."
Okay. Well,
and then she showed up with that awesome Valdor class.
Right, and helped the Enterprise at the end, but they got beat to hell by the scimitar.
Well, again, it sounds like it becomes a no-brainer. Paris stays.
It's Paris.
Paris stays?
I mean, Paris goes.
He stays behind.
Yeah, he stays behind. I mean, I don't know. It just seems like, I don't know. I'm just lost and confused. Brain farts, I guess.
It's all right. Oh, my God. That was fun, Nick.
Yeah, I thought of that one at drill.
Good. All right, you guys. Mike, what announcements do you have?
Well, really quick, something I forgot to mention earlier during the show, during the initial openings, Con Man.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
20 days left. They've already surpassed their goal by 538%.
Right.
So they're sitting at 2.2 million. And they've added a couple new stretch goals for 2.5 million, and one of them includes a novelization or a novel, and a comic. So, and they've already hit the comic goal, I think. So I think that was 2.25.
They got the comic yesterday, before yesterday.
So the next one is for the novel, and that's 2.5. So, wow, what a fun show this seems like it's going to be. And I think at this point, they're virtually unstoppable. I mean, they keep putting up stuff, and it's like, okay, it's just going to do it. We're just going to do it.
Right.
So that's awesome. I'm happy to see that project going, doing so well. Okay, so on to announcements. Gates of Sto-vo-kor. I want to thank everybody who's been showing us so much great support. I mean, our likes on Facebook have been growing so fast that I was actually worried, and I had talked to Janet, the lovely Janet, and asked her, "Can you look into this, because this can't be right?" I mean, let's just say before episode 3.1 came out, we were sitting at about 130, 135 likes, since we were established. And we've more than doubled it since then. It came out in February. This week alone, we've had like something close to like 40 likes just this week alone. It's just...
That's great.
It's insane. But she verifies they're all real people. So...
That's cool.
So thank you, everyone. Which also reminds me for Gates, if I had sent you a script and I haven't gotten audio back from you, get on it.
Oh,
please.
sorry. I have to do my lines.
Yes, preferably before you leave.
Yes.
But yeah, so Gates, that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting on audio from everyone that we've sent. We've gotten a few already. Once the audio gets in, we're going to be whipping out 5 episodes, almost immediately. Because we have multiple editors standing by. So once we get the audio in, we're going to get them edited, and we'll release them time delayed later on. But having them done is going to be great. For Bone, I believe we're still in the casting phase. I think we've discovered we have 2 roles left, I think is what we need to cast for. So we're getting close. Starfinder, I'm working on a revision of a script for that. So, or I'll be starting that next week. That's the script that Oren had written. I'm doing a rewrite on it, certain parts of it. G&T, keep liking our social media. We've got multiple contests going on. If you're going to a convention, Nick is giving away Star Trek Catan. If you can get a celebrity to say, I never listened to the G&T show.
We still have the takedown contest going on. The first person who sends what you believe is my favorite scene in Star Trek Titan's Absent Enemies. First person who sends that to us at hosts@gntshow.com wins a copy of Takedown. And yes, I'm working on getting it signed.
And it's not the scene where Riker throws a chair. So
it's not. It's
that's
not.
your hint.
It is a different scene. That's right.
And
there's
then,
your hint.
Yep. And then, of course, we have our social media campaign. So Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Google Plus, YouTube. I think that's all of them. We're looking for reasons why IGNT. So tell us why you GNT. Let us know either in a funny meme, in a graphic, in an eloquent little tweet,
a haiku,
a haiku, if you will. We've received a few wonderful entries already. We want more, so please don't forget to use the hashtag YIGNT. And so there are 5 different types of ways to enter, and you can enter as many times as you like, but every entry must be unique.
Right.
I think that's it. I can't think of anything else.
We have some great prizes to give away. Amazon gift cards to a set of books. So please,
a starship. Yes, we're giving away a starship.
It is the Enterprise D. It's the Enterprise D from the Starship Collection. So if anybody knows about the wonderful kind of bi-monthly Ship of the Month Club type thing that they have with these beautiful die-cast models that range between 4 and 5 inches in length, we have an Enterprise D that we are that is available and will be one of the gifts.
Why the fuck would somebody buy that?
What? Oh.
Before we go, Nick, why do you GNT?
Because it's 9 o'clock every Sunday.
That's 9 o'clock on a Sunday morning.
Terry, how about you? Why do you GNT? Why do you do this?
I love it.
That's a good answer.
She's a sadomasochist.
Because I am a sadomasochist, and I enjoy spending time with my friends. And so far, everybody who's been listening to us, I always feel like it's a friend, and I can argue with them and know at the end of the day we can still talk to each other. We have a good time.
Right on. I'm just here so I won't get fined.
Oh, you set that up.
Yeah,
kidding.
You did. He set that up.
Yeah,
and Marv, don't think I don't know it was you that set the dog of bag poo on fire on my steps.
Anthony.
Wait a minute. Did he say a dog of bag poo?
No, a bag of dog. Did I say a dog of bag poo?
You might have.
But seriously, the reason
because
why,
go ahead, Mike.
I was just going to say the reason why I GNT is because of all of you guys, Nick, Terry, our audience. You guys are all friends, and even more than that, you guys are an extension of my family. That is why I GNT. This is where I go to be with people that are like me. Geeky, wonderful, loving people.
Kinky?
Yes.
Did he say kinky?
I said geeky, but
I thought he said kinky.
Works too.
So
kinky
So
works.
far in the last 3 minutes, I've had a dog of bag poo, and now I heard geeky is kinky.
A dog of bag poo.
A dog of bag poo. I'm here for Anthony's grilled cheese sandwiches.
I have to pee.
So tell us why you GNT now that you know why we GNT.
Yep. Thanks, guys, for listening. We'll see you. I'll see you. Oh my gosh, Mike! When's my next show gonna be?
Let's see. Next week we are gonna have a show. Me and Nick, I think, are available. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
As far as I know, I am.
Okay. And
so I don't have drill again until the weekend I told you, and that is actual shooty time.
Right, and that's the weekend of the 12th, right?
Yes.
That weekend,
I'll be firing my 9mm and my M4.
That Saturday, I will be traveling to New Mexico.
Right.
I could be available for a show if
I think we take that weekend off.
Well, okay. Because
here's the thing, though.
But here's the thing: that if I don't do a show on the 12th, I won't be back until May.
That's fine.
And will there be a show the week after that? That's the question.
Because Terry, I won't be here for your final show before you go. So let's make the week before that our final, and then we'll just have guest hosts for you. Yeah. Oh, this is it?
Yeah.
No, this isn't it. Next week's the 29th.
Right. I'll be in LA on the 29th. I fly back on the 5th. My next day is the 12th, which I could do, and then I'm gone on the 18th, and I won't be back until May 5th.
Anthony, be ready.
See, I could do the 12th.
Mike and I might do a show on the 12th.
See, I can't.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So next week it'll be me and Nick. The week after it'll be me and Terry, and then after that,
then you guys are
the revolving door.
The revolving door,
Okay.
as always.
Anthony.
Okay, so
Anthony, Marv, whoever.
all right, I just wanted to.
We'll get in touch with Geek Generations Geek.
Yeah, we can get some friends over. Adrian's new album.
Oh my God!
That's
how awesome
Thank
is
you.
that?
Yes, that was totally awesome.
And Adrian, the song you dedicated to me is beautiful. No, she really did, Terry.
That's so sweet.
It's supposed to be getting released here, I think, next week or so for pre-orders. So keep a lookout. We'll tweet it when we have more information. But Invocation Array is the name of her band, her real band. And it's great music. It's cyberpunk and fantasy rock, I think is the way that they describe it. And it's totally cool. So look for that when it comes out. So buy a pre-order the album, and
we'll have the links in our show notes, right?
There are no links yet.
Okay.
There is a Facebook page.
There is a Facebook page. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Nick, this will be the last time I get to do a show with you until May.
All righty.
I
Well,
love you.
and then in May, at the end of May, don't forget, it looks like May 29th, I'm heading to Germany for 2 to 3 weeks. So.
Oh my God, it's crazy time for the G&T show. But
that's very tentative. It has not been. There's no orders yet.
Okay.
But I've been called by command at Fort Bragg and told that I'm in the barrel for the couple of weeks in Germany.
Smoky, smoky. All right, you
it's
guys.
Tough, which will mean which will mean some money. If that's in May, if that's in June, that will mean some money for Vegas.
That's right. Well, we're set for Vegas regardless. And as always, to our listeners, thank you for listening, and we will see you next time, whoever the hosts may be. Until then,
it's
live
be
long
a
and
mixed bag.
It is going to be a mixed bag. Until then, live long and prosper.
Kapla.
Joe Lontrue, Gouster bitches.
Music for the G&T show is provided by Warp 11, Andrew Allen, Grethor, and 5 Year Mission. This has been a Busy Little Beaver production.
Gonna take a 5-year tour. Boldly go where no man's gone before. Gonna travel to the end and make new friends. Move ahead, walk back to 10. Put a mini skirt on my old man. Represent the human race, and we make space a happy place. To boldly go where no man's gone before. I think I sang that line once before, but I'm not too sure. We'll be so happy, can't you see? A zero-G community. Gonna travel to new worlds. Beam on down and meet some green girls. Gonna see what we can see. A fancy-free galaxy. To boldly go where no man's gone before. I think I sang that line once before, but I'm not too sure. We'll be so happy, can't you see? A zero-G community. Come and take a tour with me. G.